I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rocker in Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie, and welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Okay. Welcome to the premiere Knicks Morning Show. I'm your number one Chief Rocker at Knicks Universe again, Uncle Freezie. Welcome to the spot. We're going to rock a little bit while you are on your way to work, or if you at work, or if you at the coffee machine, or wherever you are. So we're going to take this little stitch of time and hang out together and talk that Knicks talk the way that you like to have that Knicks talk talked to you. Bam! Y'all already know what it is. It's blue tears, orange tears, Blorange Tears in the spot. I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. I hope your Tuesday morning has gotten off to a roaring start. And so I have a few topics that I would like to talk about, but at the same time, I'd kind of like to hear from you guys about some things. I value your opinion. And you know what? And for some, I value some people's opinion a lot. So if you have something that you want us to talk about, don't hesitate to put it in the chat. You know, y'all know I read the chat. I try not to stay in the chat, but I'll read the chat. So sometimes you put something in the chat, I'll catch it. Sometimes I don't. But for the most part, I try to read the chat, see what y'all thinking. I try not to hang out there, though, because after all, you know, if I'm in the chat, who's going to rock the spot? Shout out to my people that's in the building already. Andrew Collier is in the house. White Falcon is in the house. Kerry Cox, the son of the legend, is in the house. Allah Wise is in the house. What's good, y'all? Yo, look who it is. Corey Lee is in the house. Corey Lee is in the house. Okay. I see you, boss. Yo, Jerry Fitz is in the house. Okay. Okay. Salute to my people, man. Good mornings, good mornings, good mornings. Good mornings. Good morning. Kerry Cox said happy birthday to somebody. Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it? I'm looking. I don't know. I can't see it. Oh, USA is demolishing Italy, huh? Okay. Okay. So, in case y'all missed it, right? There are a lot of conversations happening behind the scenes. And y'all know me, I'm not really one for like the unnecessary drama. I like having basketball be about basketball, right? Yeah, I forgot to put this stuff on, man. So let me. Y'all know I like the basketball aspect of things. I really don't like the drama of things. But in some cases, you got to kind of cover it like that. So let me get to it. Right? What in the world makes Steve Kerr think that Josh Hart should be starting in any basketball format over Brandon Ingram? I don't know. And maybe, just maybe, right? Just maybe, I don't value Josh Hart as much as I should. Is that for me? Thank you. Can I have my Carolina cup? I like drinking out of my Carolina cup. I know the Tar Heels beat the Gamecocks Saturday or whatever day that was. I'm not used to the Gamecocks winning at anything, but I like my Gamecock cup. Right. I just like my Gamecock cup, man. That's all. So I'm gonna try to move this scorching hot coffee from a Disney cup to a Gamecock cup. Or maybe Miss Mocha would just take everything and do it for me. So here's the thing about Josh Hart and all of a sudden his ascension to whatever it is. Thank you. Hey. So here's the thing with Josh Hart, right? I don't think you become Superman at a certain age. And I'm not knocking Josh Hart, right? I'm not knocking Josh Hart for who he is, right? I'm simply pointing out I think there's a tinge of politics in the air. And I mean politics over everything. Right? Since when did teams value glue guys over everything? Or I had a spoon up here. Yeah, I got one. Okay. I like Josh Hart as a player for what he does. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I like Josh Hart for what he does, but when we get to a point where we are, say, have to play Brandon Ingram over play Josh Hart over Brandon Ingram, now I am thinking, well, maybe if Josh Hart is that good, then the Knicks are championship contenders. So I'm not thinking about it in a vacuum. I'm thinking about it in a if this happens, then this type scenario. Because if Josh Hart is a better team player than Brandon Ingram, then we don't need to make trades. All we need to do is play Josh Hart more. And as a Knicks fan, if we play Josh Hart more, then that means someone else has to play less. Well, who is that Knicks player that has to play less? I'm going to ask Corey Lee. Corey Lee, if Josh Hart needs to play more, who is that Knicks player that needs to play less? Is it RJ Barrett? Is it Quentin Grimes? Is it both? Is it RJ? Is it Grimes? Is it both? Because if Josh Hart legit is playing over Brandon Ingram, and you wouldn't trade RJ Barrett if the Pelicans wouldn't take RJ Barrett and Grimes for Brandon Ingram, then now we have another conversation. It's how one conversation leads to the other. It's how one conversation leads to the other. So if you're a Josh Hart fan, don't get your stuff in a wad because I bring up Josh Hart first. Let's think about if we're underestimating the impact of Josh Hart. Are we? Keith Turner says, I'm still pissed about the contract week. Oh, no. No, I thought you were saying something else about Josh Hart. Okay. But he says, I'm still pissed about the contract we gave Josh Hart, $80 million, and Austin Reeves only got $54 million. And Jerry Fitz says, you know what a better question is? Why doesn't Tibbs start Josh Hart? I would say that's a different question. I'll say that's a different question. Because we were going to get there. But, you know, you kind of got to do it like the one step at a time thing, you know? like build the case for all sides so it'll be fair to everybody. All future media is in the building. The ghetto intellect is in the building. GI is in the building. And White Falcon says Josh will start. Has to. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. When I watch Josh Hart as an NBA player, Josh Hart doesn't provide you greatness at anything, at any one thing. But he is very good at a lot of things. And his very, very goodness at one thing is his rebounding in transition. And his scramble rebounding may be the best of any player in the league. When there's a scramble for a ball, Josh Hart has a nose for it. Now, let's not get it twisted. I think Knicks fans I think Knicks fans have a perception that Josh Hart is Ben Wallace. He is not. Josh Hart is not a shrunken down Ben Wallace. He is not. But is Josh Hart maybe perpetual motion? Yes. Yes. Josh Hart has a nose for the basketball. White Falcon says Josh Hart is great at what he does. Rebounds, scrapper steals, scores. Scorers need that. I like that. And I'm going to say Josh Hart is the wing player that you need to come off the bench for a championship team. Right? For the old school guys out there, this is for Jerry Fitz. For my old school guys out there, Josh Hart is a Cedric Maxwell. You remember Jerry Fitz? You remember Cedric Maxwell, Cedric Cornbread Maxwell? He is a guy like that. Good morning to my man, G.I. G.I. just said, I think he said, I can't remember what school he said is here. Travel Vibes is in the building. Kerry Cox says, well, he did the Knicks a favor, so they awarded him with that contract. Yeah. He did do the Knicks a solid. For the love of the game is in the building. Mets is in the building. Mets was good, man. I see you. So my thing with Josh Hart is this simple. Does Josh Hart bring a winning aspect to the Knicks? And if he does, then I think that is more valuable than scoring. Right? I think you can get scoring from anywhere. But if Josh Hart is the intangible guy that Team USA recognizes, Team USA's coaching staff is loaded. Right? Team USA's coaching staff is loaded. They're not dummies, right? They're not dummies. They know who can play and who can't. And maybe Josh Hart is a better team player than Brandon Ingram is a team player. Or the Brunsons are all about politics. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm interested to see what y'all think in the chat. Not just Brad, because the money issue thing is the money issue thing. Right? The money is the money. No matter, Josh Hart, the money is the money. Right? Is Josh Hart a great all-around team player and teammate? Right? Or is all this Josh Hart stuff political? So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says the Uncle Freezie knows each game has different circumstances, and so we need to be able to meet said circumstances with each one of those guys mentioned. I got you. And Jerry Fitz says Josh Hart is a winner. But here's the thing. Here is where I snatched the tablecloth off the table without breaking any dishes. Where has Josh Hart won in the NBA? Where has Josh Hart's perceived intangibles won anything in the NBA? Anything. Somebody tell me what he won in LA or in Portland or in New Orleans. Something. Tell me when does a Josh Hart being on a team equate to anything except Josh Hart coming to a team that already was going to already make the playoffs and help that team make the playoffs. From what I've seen from Josh Hart is a very good guy, a very hard worker, unselfish, and plays with intangibles. But what I've seen from Josh Hart is that means nothing. He's not good enough to impact and do all the things that Knicks fans are saying. I think Josh Hart is getting the Gotham bump. And the Gotham bump is a real thing. If Josh Hart played for the Atlanta Hawks, I don't think Knicks fans would be saying the same thing about Josh Hart. Because ultimately the Atlanta Hawks have a Josh Hart type guy in my mind in Sadiq Bey. No, Uncle Freezie, but Josh Hart went to Villanova. Yeah, so did Sadiq Bey. I'm just saying. I just want to. I want to. I'm not trying to force you to think a certain way. All I want to do is figure out should Josh Hart be starting over Grimes and R.J. Barrett. And if we come to the conclusion that he should, I'm okay with it. Should Josh Hart start over Grimes or RJ Barrett? You choose. Or should in my mind, I don't even think Josh Hart is the guy is the Villanova guy that should be starting next to Brunson. I love me some Dante DiVincenzo, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love me some Dante DiVincenzo, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love some Dante DiVincenzo. Oh, yo, old head says, hell no. Hart is a bitch player. Stop this foolishness. Salute. Hey, salute to the old head in the building. Salute to the old head in the building. See, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Dante DiVincenzo brings an element of modern NBA basketball. Right? The guy that can kind of shoot the three, right? Kind of shoot the three, definitely a defender, definitely an athlete, right? Needs a place to find his way. Jerry Fitz, thank you for the score update. Jerry Fitz says the USA are up 78-39, so they're doubling whoever they're playing. Kind of knew that was coming. But I'm here to tell you, I do believe that if Josh Hart is a starter, then one of the young guys got to sit. You got to scrap this whole play the youth thing. Somebody has got to sit in order for Josh Hart to play. I'm just gonna look at the box score from Team USA just really quick. Man, Italy has nobody on the floor, bro. I don't see Ricci. I think Ricci is a I think I remember seeing that name in terms of NBA talent, but I don't see I don't see any other talent out there. Mikal Bridges with 24 points. Oh my. Josh Hart started again. Josh Hart has 5 rebounds against Italy and 1 assist. Jalen Brunson with 4 assists already. I just can't see this. I don't understand this sit Cam Johnson, sit Brandon Ingram, bring Paolo Banchero off the bench for Josh Hart thing. I don't see it. I don't see it. In international play, I would rather, I don't know. So y'all tell me. And so White Falcon asks the question or makes the suggestion that the Knicks have to make a trade. I'm here to tell you, I'm not ready to trade Quentin Grimes just so that a 29-year-old journeyman off the bench can get playing time with his homeboy. But at the same time, people have been telling me behind the scenes, they won't dare say it in front of y'all. They won't dare say it in front of y'all, right? This is why I question some stuff sometimes. And trust me, I tell them to their face when they say it, right? Here's my thing. If Grimes is not it, why are we up in arms when at the slightest critique of Quentin Grimes? If Grimes is not it. If Grimes is not it, I mean, I'm sorry. If Grimes is not it behind the scenes, when you guys talk to me behind the scenes, you're like, man, Grimes ain't ready. Grimes needs 2 more years. Grimes needs a dribble pull up. Grimes needs this. Grimes needs that. But at the slightest critique on air, y'all are going to fight for Grimes like he's your second grader. I think Grimes is ready. I think Grimes is ready. Clear out the path. You've been clearing out the spot for Grimes since he's been here now. Right? You let Reggie Bullock walk. You traded Alec Burks. You benched Evan Fournier. You traded away Cam Reddish. You made all the requisite moves in order to clear the runway for Grimes, and then bring in Josh Hart to send Grimes to the bench. And Kerry Cox says Grimes or IQ will be in a package with RJ. See that. Hey, man, legend, listen. It makes no sense to do a trade if Josh Hart is the guy. If Josh Hart is the guy, then all you need to do is move them pieces to the bench. And Paris Duggar, hey, thank you for the comment, Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar says, Curry wasn't it his first 4 years. So what are you talking about? Right. You talk about Seth Curry, right? You're talking about Seth Curry. Seth Curry was not it his first 4 years. He just wasn't. He needed some time to get acclimated to the league and blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I know. Seth Curry had to find his way. It's just what it is. Some players need longer to develop. Yeah, I agree with you. Seth Curry needed time. I agree with you. Right? Because I know for a fact you ain't talking about Steph Curry. Because Steph Curry, in his first 4 years, shot 48% from the floor and 44% from three. I know you ain't talking about Steph Curry. Because if you talk about Steph Curry, you, sir, are bananas. That man shot 47% from the floor and 44% from three as a starter in the NBA when nobody else was shooting like that. Yeah, and for the love of the game says no, Curry Goat needed time too besides the injury. See, this is where narratives get kind of odd. Narratives get kind of peculiar. Nah. Steph Curry, his first season averaged 17 and a half. Steph Curry in his second season averaged 18.6. Steph Curry in his third season, the injury-prone season that y'all references, because here's the thing. Steph Curry at the beginning of his career did not miss a lot of games. Steph Curry in his first season played 80 games, started 77. Second year, started 74, played 74. Third season, started 26. Played 26, started 23. Fourth season, played 78, started 78. Fifth season, played 78, started 78. Steph Curry, sixth season, started 80, played 80. Steph Curry, 79 and 79, 79 and 79. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on, man. The Steph Curry thing, come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, y'all. Don't do Steph Curry like that. Don't do Steph Curry like that. And Paris Duggar says, so why did Steph Curry sign 4 years? No. Money and ability are two different things. Money and ability are two different things. Let's not say, why are we saying Steph Curry started his season slow? Oh, Steph Curry started his career slow. Stop, man. Come on. This is what we doing. This is why other NBA fan bases look at y'all like y'all nuts. The reason is because y'all are nuts. We out here talking about Steph Curry was injury prone at the beginning of his career. Really? ESPN and the NBA's own website say something different. And for those that think I just made that number up out of the blue, right? I'm gonna show you the website that shows that we have to stop using these weird narratives in conversation. We have to base stuff in facts. Bim, there it is. You can see it for yourself. See it for yourself. We got to see it for ourselves. Paris Duggar says, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says he signed for $40 million because he wasn't it yet. Right. Okay. All right. Say what you will about the money. I'm talking to you about talent. 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 There are the numbers. See, the original comment was not about that man Chet. The first comment was about Steph Curry wasn't it. So while I do feel like some goalposts are being moved, I understand that it's the Tuesday after Labor Day. So maybe we're not on our game yet. Maybe we're not on our game yet. Maybe we're not tight yet. Steph Curry was not injury prone at the beginning of his career. These numbers say that. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit just so that y'all can see the picture. Those numbers belong to Steph Curry. We have weird narratives, man. That's why other fan bases are like, yo, what are y'all talking about? Other fan bases are like, yo, Uncle Freezie, yeah, Knicks fans are bizarre. Yeah, I know. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them, not all of them. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The original point was Steph Curry was not it at the beginning of his career. That's the original point. And the original point was false. Some of us got to be right all the time, though. Some of us are going to be, I'm right all the time. No, you're not right all the time. Nobody's right all the time. Nobody's right all the time. Right? Nobody's right all the time. But the thing about the Josh Hart thing is Josh Hart should. Why are we even? Why is Josh Hart? Why is Josh Hart even in a Steph Curry conversation? We don't find that to be bizarre. We don't find that to be bizarre that Steph Curry is in a Josh Hart conversation. That alone should send signals out to everybody that we go bonkers over certain players with the Knicks. Josh Hart should never be in a conversation with Steph Curry. Let's respect the game some, man. Come on, chat. Let's respect the game. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart and Steph Curry in the same conversation. What are we doing out here? If we're talking about intangibles, like winning intangibles, then no, they're still not in the same category. Because Steph Curry has rings. Did he win all those rings by himself? No, maybe not. Maybe Timmy. But Josh Hart and Steph Curry, nah. Man, we gotta relax. We gotta relax on some stuff. Is Josh Hart a good player? Yes. Josh Hart is a very good player. But come on. Come on. What are we doing? Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, the documentary in real time covers this. That's why Golden State was able to sign winning players to win multiple championships. Curry was underpaid. That wasn't the original point, Paris Duggar. The original point was Steph Curry was not it at the beginning of his career. And then somebody co-signed and said that Steph Curry needed time to develop because of injuries. Those were the 2 points. Come on, man. Come on, bro. The chat is pretty smart, bro. The people in the chat, they are pretty smart. You can't just say one thing and then make it 3-card Monty, bro. Steph Curry is a top 10 player all time that was thrust into a conversation about Josh Hart. Jerry Fitz, am I wrong? Was I not speaking about Josh Hart for the first 40 minutes of this joint? Was I not? I was talking, I started this show off with Josh Hart, right? So as Paris Duggar says, now doing the Ali shuffle of no. See, I knew I should have highlighted that comment. Man. When it came up, I was like, yo, let me highlight this comment. But I was like, nah, you let people live. Right? But then here we are. I'm gonna find it though. I'll find it. I'm just saying, back in the day when people used to say something, they used to stand by it. But now in our social media age where everybody has to be right 100% of the time, they shuffle. Not even the Ali shuffle. They do the Cupid shuffle. You know what I'm saying? All we had to do was say, in Paris Duggar, all you had to do was say you believe in Josh Hart, and I'd have been like, okay. But to thrust Steph Curry into the conversation, come on, big dog. Come on. And then the cosign of the century from my guy randomly just jumping in. Yeah, Curry was injury prone. Come on, man. I ain't gonna look for that thing. It ain't worth it. I want to get to this thing now. I want to get to the thing about my defense of Grimes. Right. I want to get into my defense of Quentin Grimes. Man, listen. Y'all are polarized about Quentin Grimes. Right? And my thing is since he got his Knick uniform, I've been saying, and I don't know if I'm right, but it seems like it's trending that way. Right? I can't say that I'm right yet, right? But the thing about Grimes is Grimes from day one needed time to adjust to the NBA. Right? Not the mental aspect because he's there. I think Quentin Grimes thinks the game at a high level. Right? But the thing about Grimes is you have to learn how to play the NBA game. Young players with high basketball IQ aren't always assertive in their first few years, i.e. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Hey, Paris, let it go, bro. Let it go. Let it go, bro. It's okay. It's all right. Let it go. Josh Hart is not Steph Curry. Let it go. Just let it go, boss. Ain't nothing to it. Ain't personal. It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation. It's not even a narrative, right? The narrative, the underlying narrative is Josh Hart should be a starter. But if he starts, who sits? See, here's the thing. You can't play Brunson, Grimes, Hart, Randall, Mitch together. You have zero size on the perimeter. Zero. Or maybe you can play that lineup. Maybe you can. I just don't see it. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. If not, I've been wrong before. And you know what? I'll be wrong again. Right? De La Cruz is in the building. Salute. De La Cruz in the building. I like De La Cruz. He be coming in, standing his ground. I'm here. What y'all talk about? Yo, salute to De La Cruz. He in the building, right? Stand his ground. Okay, I see you. Jerry Fitz says Grimes should be playing ahead of IQ, Hart, or Dante. I think of all those players, I think Grimes has the highest overall basketball IQ, and that's saying something, especially with three veterans there. I think Quickly has the highest defensive IQ. But Dante DiVincenzo at times kind of reminds you of a Revis Island type defender at times. Not all the time, because sometimes he's just physically overmatched, right? Sometimes he just physically overmatched, right? But at times, Dante DiVincenzo can be Revis-like. And you know what? And before we jump out the window and start bashing DiVincenzo, look at the defensive metrics and look at the eye test. Let's not throw Dante DiVincenzo away over favoritism. If you ask me, the minutes at shooting guard should be Grimes, DiVincenzo, IQ at the two guard spot. And at point, I think the minutes should be Brunson, IQ, DiVincenzo. At the three, I think the minutes should be more RJ, Hart, period, at the three. And Julian Blum says, DiVincenzo just got here. Let him earn it. Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely. I think that's one of the most sobering comments I saw this morning. Like, before we crank up the hype train, how about we let somebody prove it? The only move that I can see the Knicks doing that will equate to winning straight away, if you start Josh Hart, right? And then now, what do you do with the quickly Grimes RJ rotation? Because there's a cascade effect. If you start Hart, then what do you do with DiVincenzo? Oh, this seems to be dripping with sarcasm right here. Is this sarcasm or is this how you really feel? Let me know. Are you trolling or is this how you really feel? Hotline Bling. And White Falcon says, who's better than Hart on this team other than and T. Williams is in the building. T. Williams says Hart is too small. He got exposed at the 4. The other day, he tried to guard Vucevic. He's crazy. Why is Josh Hart switching on to Vucevic? It's the same thing I said during the summer. Josh Hart switching on to Bam Adebayo. Is he crazy? Is that the reason why Knicks fans like him? Because he's offset mentally? Because Josh Hart is the little engine that could, so we love him. If that's the case, let's just say it. If that's the case, let's just be truth tellers. Right? If that's the case, let's just be truth tellers. Let's not throw the rock and hide our hand. Let's just be real with it. Is Josh Hart the little engine that could? And do we like that? Do we like that for that reason? It's okay to own up to certain things. That, as a matter of fact, to me, that's a commendable thing. If you feel a certain way, say it. As opposed to throwing out narratives to convince the crowd and bring people over and all that stuff. Nah, man, just say, yeah. Old head says, Josh is tough, but he not tall enough to play power forward. I agree with you. Old head, I know what you meant, though. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. And White Falcon even says, who defends on the perimeter other than Josh Hart? You don't want to have that conversation, White Falcon. You don't want to have that conversation because Josh Hart is the last we saw it. I think Dre and I looked at it in July, and Josh Hart was ranked the 78th best defender at his position. Dante DiVincenzo was ranked 11th, and Quickly was ranked 18th, I think, something like that. Right? And I think we all feel like Quentin Grimes is a better defender than Josh Hart also. Chad, what's good? And basically, Hotline says Josh Hart identifies as a power forward. Josh Hart identifies as a power forward, basically. Hey, White Falcon, I won't do that today, but maybe we'll do that for one of the nighttime shows. Because I have to go to a site and gather data and all that stuff. Maybe we'll do that on one of the night shows this week or so. So Chad guy says, "Can I join your party?" Sure. I mean, I'm gonna put the link in the chat in a little bit, right? I'll put the link in the chat in a little bit, right? Wiz says, "How many games did Curry play before he became the man? Not how many years was he in the league. He was 23, 4-7 in year 4 with highly efficient, consistent after only 26 games the year before." Mm, mm, mm. Right? Okay. Okay, Wiz. Wiz coming out with the heavy artillery. All right, Wiz. Yeah, the Steph Curry, Josh Hart thing shouldn't even be a thing, man. Come on, man. What's next? Josh Hart, Magic Johnson. I mean, come on. What was that? Josh Hart, Isaiah Thomas. What was next? Josh Hart, Tony Parker. Come on, man. Josh Hart, Josh Hart, Josh Hart is a good player, but come on, man. We can't just inject Josh Hart into every conversation. Josh Hart's a great player, but nah, come on, bro. Come on, bro. And Chad guys, so we rock about 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. And T. Williams says Josh Hart is average at best. See, y'all are divided, man. Y'all are divided, man, and y'all are divided over Hart. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Josh Hart is a starter, then what do you do with Quentin Grimes? White Falcon says Grimes can go like Cam Reddish. Yo, Greeny is in the building. Greeny, what's good, bro? Here's my thing with Josh Hart. Right? I am, as a Knicks fan, am more interested in the long-term growth of Quentin Grimes than I am short-term gain of Josh Hart being a starter for the first time, or not for the first time, but being a starter on a winning team for the first time in his 9-year career. Who are we developing, Josh Hart or Quentin Grimes? Because I with basketball, it's about the right now and the future. It's about the right now and the future at the same time. So what I would say to a Quentin Grimes versus Josh Hart debate, so to speak. It's not really even a debate. Because I think most reasonable Knicks fans are going to say that Grimes is the starter and Josh Hart is coming off the bench. Josh Hart has started maybe 400 games in his career. I think he started more. Let me see. I'm going to let you know how many games Josh Hart started for his career. Let me go back here. Let me go back here and find Josh Hart. Because Josh Hart is a good NBA player. Let's not get it twisted. Josh Hart is a good NBA player. Right? Josh Hart has been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. Josh Hart's only been in the league 6 years? Josh Hart, this is Josh Hart's 7th year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Josh Hart. Oh my goodness. What are we doing? Let me. Oh my goodness. I looked at it and out of respect for y'all, I'm gonna put this on the screen only because I looked at it. I looked at it and I gotta put this on the screen out of respect for y'all. So Josh Hart has been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Josh Hart has been in the league 6 seasons and has played for 4 NBA teams in 6 seasons. Jay Fitz, I see you. I see what you're talking about. Yep. Yep. I know we're down on Grimes. I'm not saying that Grimes is a perfect player. I just I just don't want to throw Grimes away. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, and right now, Tibbs, Randall, and RJ is same old Knicks. Same old Knicks. So, Paris Duggar, what are you saying? Are you saying it's time to move on from Grimes? Is Paris Duggar, are you saying it's time to move on from Grimes? Because if that's what you are saying, sir, then that means you have made a shift. I'm trying to put this up here so it'll be bigger than Bim. There we go. Josh Hart has played for 4 teams and 6 NBA seasons. Why? Why? And Hotline Bling says because he can't shoot. I think Josh Hart just won't shoot. That's what frustrates a lot of people, a lot of teams. Josh Hart won't shoot. He just won't. Josh Hart had a season with Portland, with a stretch with Portland where he averaged 20 points a game. And I'm going to point out a thing to you guys too, and it's right there on the screen. And y'all not going to get this from anywhere else. And I'll point it out. I ain't afraid. I ain't scared. I know Keith Turner, Corey Lee, Jerry Fitz. I know these guys have my back because I like to point out facts, right? Here's the thing. Look at the numbers on the screen for Josh Hart. Josh Hart on a new team. Look at Josh Hart's number on a new team, and then look at the year after. Right? That man averaged 7.8 points a game as a Laker. He goes to the Pelicans and averages 10. And then the next year, his numbers drop off, right? There's a year with the Pelicans, he was averaging, well, I guess he got aggressive because he was averaging 13 points a game with the Pelicans and then was traded to Portland in his brief stint with Portland. He averaged 20 points a game. He came back the next year with Portland and averaged 9.5. New Orleans, there was a bump. Traded to New Orleans, there's a bump. Traded to Portland, there's a bump, right? Traded to New Orleans, there's a bump and then regression. Traded to Portland, there's a bump and then aggression. Traded to New York, there's a bump. I'm not ready to sit Grimes for that. And so Keith Turner says, I never need attention, but don't even want it. I'm glad my comments have an effect. Nah, hey, first of all, don't be coming at that. You our guy. Turner, you our guy. If you wasn't our guy, we'd have been said it. Same thing with Paris Duggar. That's our guy. If he wasn't our guy, I would have been said it. Y'all know me by now. We've been at this. Yo, y'all know it'll be 3 years next month for Blorange Tears, bro. I'm proud of that. Right? It'll be 3 years next month, man. I'm proud of that, man. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that we've been around each other, hanging out for 3 years, almost. Next month. And there are a lot of channels that have come and occupied this, occupied the space. Some of them are here and striving, and then some are not, but we still here. Holding on is very hard to do. Holding on is very hard to do. And that's no lie. And Julian Blum says, say my name, you make no sense. Huh? Who, me? Did I just jump into? I feel like I just jumped into something by reading that comment. Bronx Mel is in the building. Okay, Bronx Mel. So White Falcon, here's my thing. So for White Falcon, If you start Josh Hart, if that's the direction the Knicks absolutely have to go, right? If that's the direction they have to go in, I think you got to go get Paul George. White Falcon, listen, I'm willing to compromise, White Falcon. If you gotta have Josh Hart in your lineup, I think you have to have a guy that can cover up all his deficiencies. Because he's got proficiencies, right? A lot of them. But he's got start proficiencies, right? He's got start efficiencies and start proficiencies, right? And so if you gotta start Josh Hart, then I think you gotta trade for Paul George. Period. There are too many things on the floor that Josh Hart is good at, but then there are some things that Josh Hart is not good at. And you need a do-it-all Swiss Army knife to kind of help Josh Hart with that. And I'm gonna say it. The Villanova Cats, they don't defend. They don't defend in the NBA. There are two good Villanova Wildcats that defend in the NBA. Everybody else is all reputation. DiVincenzo and Mikal Bridges. Everybody else is just about reputation. They smart. They're well taught. They're well taught. But Josh Hart's not a great defender. He's not even a good defender. Sadiq Bey came in with that reputation too, and I don't know if Sadiq Bey give you the impression that he's a good defender. I don't think so. Wiz says Josh Hart is a very good journeyman. Grimes has played 116 games, so he is still year 2.5, a little less than halfway into year 2. And part of that has to do with Quentin Grimes being injured a lot. And I'm going to ask this to you guys, and I want y'all to be honest with me. Is Grimes hurt all the time because he's soft? Is Grimes hurt all the time because he's soft? Y'all let me know. Or Grimes feels like if he's hurt and he can't contribute, then why step out on the floor when somebody else can play? Paris Douglas says, why become Nets fans? Is it because I see 3 guys year 5 still be just okay enough to fail? Because they never come up big and never answer for it? Paris Duggan, I don't like how you just threw a shot at Josh Hart, bro. I don't like that shot at Josh Hart, man. If you're a Hart fan, if you're a part of the Hart Foundation, stay a part of the Hart Foundation, man. If you're a part of the Hart Foundation, stay a part of the Hart Foundation, man. Don't throw no shots at Brunson and Hart because of what happened in the playoffs. The Knicks lost to a better team. That's just it. Let's not act like Miami wasn't just a better team during the playoffs. They were. Miami was just a better team in the playoffs, man. Let's just admit it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Knicks at Night podcast. Come your way. I got an appointment, man. I got some stuff. Gotta make the donuts. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. It's your main man, Uncle Freezie. Thank y'all for watching.